And as soon as I saw that, I thought the stock did not deserve to be down. So I bought a few more shares in after-hours trading, and it was also centered in the fact that in after-hours, Meta stock was trading for roughly 14 times operating cash flows. So let's go and take a look at their historical averages now all the way back to 2019. And we can see that the median price to operating cash flow for this business has been roughly 16. And even right now in after hours, including the bump that the share price just had, it's still trading for about 16 times operating cash flows, which is the company's historical median all the way back to 2019. And this is at the same time as the business's fundamentals, in my opinion, are accelerating and seeing very strong growth. Like 30% year-over-year revenue growth for the first quarter for a company worth trillions of dollars, I think is wild. And Meta is setting up to have one of the best revenue growth rates out of all of the Magnificent Seven for the fourth quarter. Now, one last thing that I will mention is that this 16 price to operating cash flow median includes when Meta was significantly undervalued in 2022, and it was trading for only 5 times operating cash flows. So I think that this median number right here could actually be skewed to the downside because again, it is factoring in when Meta was obviously undervalued in 2022. And in hindsight, in 2022, Meta looks like it was just ridiculously cheap and an obvious buy. Now, the last thing that I want to do in this video is a quick discounted cash flow calculation of Meta stock today. And we're going to be using its operating cash flow and projecting it over the next 5 years. And I'm saying that operating cash flow will continue to grow by 12% annually over this time frame. I am also saying that Meta will continue to trade for 15 times operating cash flows and buy back roughly 2% of its shares on an annual basis going forward. And with these inputs, we get a fair value for Meta T, 837 per share, and a future share price of 1,337 by the year of 2031. And lastly, this would be a compounded annual growth rate to the share price of 15%, which ultimately suggests that Meta stock is undervalued after this earnings report. Now, another thing that I want to say about this DCF is I think that Meta will actually grow its operating cash flows by more than 12% annually over the next 5 years. I mean, this is a business that is seeing its top line accelerate and is projecting 30% year-over-year growth in the next quarter. And it also just saw its operating cash flows grow by 26% year-over-year. So if we bump this number up to 15% and also expand the price to operating cash flow to maybe 17 to reflect the accelerated growth to the business, then we get a compounded annual growth rate of 21% and a fair value of roughly 1,100 per share. And I still think that these numbers right here are pretty damn realistic for Meta over the next 5 years. So to put it simply, I think this earnings report for Meta was phenomenal. They saw 24% year-over-year revenue growth. They're projecting 30% revenue growth next quarter, and they just grew operating cash flow by 28% in the fourth quarter. All of these things are the main metrics that I care about, and Meta knocked it out of the park. I also think the stock is still not looking expensive today, even with that 9% boost in after-hours trading. And that is the main reason why I nibbled on some more shares right after they reported earnings, and I saw that the stock was down. So, as a shareholder of Meta, I am very happy with this earnings report, and I cannot wait to continue following the business and what it produces in 2026. And with all that being said, that is my earnings summary for Meta's Q4 2025 earnings results. If you enjoyed this video, then please remember to leave a like on it. And if you want to stick around and see more content like this, then please consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. And lastly, if you want to get real-time alerts on all of my buys and sells, because I alerted my patron when I bought Meta in after-hours trading before I made this video while the stock was still down, and also get access to my earnings analysis before videos come out, plus get access to my Discord community, my portfolio, my live streams, and a lot more content from me, then consider checking out my Patreon. I think that there is a ton of value in there. My Patreon members have been loving it, and I think that you will too. But with all that being said, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, I truly do appreciate it, and I really hope to see you again in my next